Today, we are going to look at how to use a button to turn an LED on and off with an Arduino. For this tutorial, you will need an Arduino, a breadboard, one LED, one 240 ohm resistor, one momentary push button, one 10k ohm resistor, and 4 jumper wires. Place the negative leg of the LED into the negative rail on the breadboard, and the positive into one of the rows. Now insert one leg of the 240 ohm resistor into the same row as the positive leg of the LED, and the other into a free row. Now take a black jumper wire, and connect one end to one of the ground pins of the Arduino, and the other end into the same negative rail as the LED. Now take a jumper wire, and connect one end into the same row as the resistor, and the other end into the same row as pin 7 of the Arduino. Now place the momentary push button over the gap in the middle of the breadboard. The button has 2 pairs of legs which are linked. And when the button is pressed, both pairs of legs are connected. Now place the 10k resistor between one of the rows the button is on, and the negative rail. This will pull the button to ground or low when it's not being pressed. Now, place a jumper wire on the opposite side to the resistor, and the other end into the 5-volt pin or VCC on the Arduino. Next, place a jumper wire into the same row as the 10k resistor, and the other end into pin 2 on the Arduino. With all the parts in place, it's time to look at the code. With a new sketch open, we first need to define the pins we will be using for the LED and button. We need to type the lines to define the button pin and LED pin. Const is short for constant, which means that the pin will remain the same and cannot be changed. Next, we need to define a variable for the button. This will record the state change when the button is pressed, which we will then use to turn the LED on and off. Next, we need to move to the setup and set the pin mode for the pins we are using. We set the LED to output and button to input. Moving to the loop. First, we need to read the state of the button to see if it's being pressed. To do this, we need to type buttonState equals digitalRead, open bracket, buttonPin, close bracket, semicolon. This will set buttonState to high when the button is pressed, and low when the button is released. Next, we can use an if statement to turn the LED on when buttonState is high. To do this, we type if, open bracket, buttonState equals high, close bracket. This checks to see if buttonState equals high. Next type open curly bracket. When you press enter, the software should add a close curly bracket automatically. Next type digitalWrite, open bracket, LED pin, comma, high, close bracket, semicolon. This sets the LED high if buttonState is high. Next type else, open curly bracket, digitalWrite, open bracket, LED pin, comma, low, close bracket, semicolon. This will set the LED low if the buttonState is not high. By going to the Tools menu and clicking on Auto Format, this will indent our code, making it easier to read. With the code finished, it's time to upload it to the Arduino. Plug in a USB cable into the Arduino. Now make sure you have the board and COM port selected in the Tools menu. Now we can press the upload button. It should only take a few seconds for our sketch to upload. With the code uploaded, we can now press the button to turn the LED on. While you hold the button down, the LED will remain on. When released, the LED turns off. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, maybe hit the like button, and consider subscribing to see more.